Dan Weldon has drunk the milk and tasted the success of his Indianapolis 500 victory. Danica Patrick has become the darling of the US media. But now it's time for the rest of the season to start. And where better than on the high-banked oval that is the Texas Motor Speedway in what they're calling the Twilight Showdown. It's the Bombardier Learjet 500. Yes, hello and welcome to round 6 of this year's IndyCar series. We're about to bring you highlights of what turned out to be a heart-stopping battle to the flag. So let's head off now to Fort Worth, Texas, and join our commentary team of Larry Rice and Gary Lee.
Let's take a look now at the starting lineup. Once again, all Chevrolet power in the front row. Thomas Scheckter, his third pole position here at Texas, his 7th overall. And his rookie teammate starting alongside in the front row, Tomas Inge. So Panther Racing with the first 2 starting positions. In the second row on the inside, it's the just the dominant figure from the press, Danica Patrick, the rookie, and outside the 2-time IRL champion, the former winner here, Sam Hornish. Vito Mira, who finished 2nd at Indianapolis 2 weeks ago, who's edged into the top 5 in the point standings, and Dario Franchitti will share row 3. In the 4th row, back from his injury, missing Indianapolis, back in the cockpit, Buddy Rice, and alongside the winner at Indianapolis 2 weeks ago, the points champion leader right now, Dan Weldon. Darren Manning and Elio Castroneves will occupy row 5. As we look at row 6 on the inside, Brian Herta, part of the Andretti Green racing team, and rookie Ryan Briscoe for Chip Ganassi team Target. In the 7th row on the inside, it's Tony Kanaan, last year's points champion, and a 2nd right now in the point standings, and Koksi Matsura, number 55, outside the 7th row. On the 8th row on the inside, a former series champion from 2 years ago, Scott Dixon, and a 2-time winner here on this racetrack, and a former series champion, Scott Sharp. Jimmy Kite, who is subbing for the injured Paul Dana, starts inside row 9 next to Roger Yasukawa. In the 10th row, it's Ed Carpenter and Alex Barron, who is celebrating his 35th birthday today. And finally, in row 11 on the inside is Patrick Carpentier and A.J. Foyt, who did not get a qualification time yesterday because he lost the engine, so he'll take residence at the back of the pack.
Well, it's going to be an interesting start. Let's take a look. The distance is 200 laps, 300 miles. The pit window is 36 to 38. They can probably go 45 if they have to, but they don't want to. Pole sitter, of course, is Thomas Scheckter. And the pit window, the Chevrolets actually are getting a little bit better gas mileage than either the Hondas or the Toyotas for some reason. The temperature, 30 degrees Celsius. It's been very hot here, 22 kilometers in the wind. And it's partly cloudy, a little small chance of rain, but mostly just humid and hot.
Well, the fans enjoying a bit of a breeze on occasion this afternoon as you take a look now at on board with Thomas Scheckter from the pole position in the car that's painted silver, metal flake silver. And there is the number 9 of Dixon, who is starting in the 15th position here this evening. There's the 10 of Manning. Manning starts in 9th position. You have to go by helmets. You can't go by the color scheme there. And there's the 53 number on the car that's actually number 16, Danica Patrick, starting in 3rd position inside the 2nd row. There's Vito Mira, finished 2nd at Indianapolis. Vito today starts in the 5th position. There is your winner at Indianapolis. He's won 4 of 5 events. He's won 3 in a row. Dan Weldon. He'll be starting back in the Asian this evening. Green flag should fly the next time around, Larry. And as we said back in 1998, Kenny Brack won 3 in a row, but it's not been done since.
Well,
he's won 3 in a row this season and going for his 4th this evening.
Yeah, if he can win 4 in a row, I mean, he's way ahead in the point standings. A victory here would make it awful difficult for anybody to beat him unless he ran into all kinds of trouble. But he's had an awfully good season, and you heard him say that the experience that he gained in the first couple of years has made all the difference in the world.
Now he's coming back to racetracks for
right.
2nd, 3rd, or 4th time.
And it does make a huge difference, and that's why Danica Patrick.
Danica's going to have some trouble this season.
That's right, Danica Patrick. You can't expect her. You remember him? He crashed in Indianapolis. He did some silly things his first year, so don't expect her too much from her. I mean, I don't want the pressure to get to her and cause her all kinds of trouble. She's got to really be focused on this race.
Green flag is out, and right away they go 3 wide across the start-finish line. Scheckter from the inside starting position takes the lead.
And Danica kind of got squeezed to the inside, had to get out of the throttle just a little bit, but I think that was a wise move as Hornish went to the outside, kind of forced the issue out there. And Danica Patrick, all she wanted to do was
keep her
stay
nose clean.
That's right. Stay clean.
Complete that first lap.
So she lost a spot or two. That's okay. That's
side by side for second position. Looking back at Tomas Inge on the inside, Sam Hornish the outside. They run side by side. This is a racetrack where you can run two abreast all the way around.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of that here tonight, and you see a lot of sparks flying. Remember, these cars are full of fuel now. They run them as low to the ground as possible for aerodynamic reasons, so they will throw some sparks as they go through. Those are titanium skid plates. They're put on there so that they will not grab the track. They will slide through.
Well, you're taking a look at the Scheckter car that leads his teammate Inge, as Patrick loses another position as on the inside move, number 11, Tony Kanaan.
Tony Kanaan running on the inside. He's trying to move up as he goes to the inside. He's Danica Patrick, though, staying out there. She said earlier that she thought she might try to run the outside groove rather than the inside groove. She didn't like that inside groove quite as much, but she's lost several spots here early in the going, which is okay. She's learning. Nothing bad about losing a few spots early in the going.
We're also, Larry, talking about the Panos chassis has less visibility off the side pod than the other cars, and as a result, she just does not feel at ease down the inside with what she can see around her.
Right, and the mirrors you can't see quite as well. For some reason, they just are not quite as good as the other cars. I'm not sure why, but Kenny Brack, he made that statement. It had been a while since he'd been in it. When he got in the car in Indianapolis, he made the statement that he couldn't see nearly as well as he remembered being after getting in the car.
Well, Scheckter is out in front, then Sam Hornish, and then Tomas Inge.
Sam Hornish is really good at this racetrack. He is absolutely great at this racetrack. He really understands what it takes, because a lot of times it takes you have to be able to shift gears at the right time. You have to know exactly, there's kind of an overdrive, a sixth gear. And if you use that correctly and you use the gears correctly, you really can gain a lot of speed and a lot of RPMs here.
Well, you're running now with Weldon, and look where he is. Weldon in fourth position after starting eighth.
Right, he's running up there. He's done very, very well so far, because he's come a long way. Tony Kanaan did move up. Oh!
Our first yellow is for Jimmy Kite. Jimmy Kite brings out the yellow on the fifth lap.
Well, that's a tough break for Jimmy Kite. This is only a part-time ride for him, and it did not last very long here today. You see the rear wing is torn off. He got into that safer barrier with the rear end of the car, tore the rear wing off, and some damage to the front end too. So
he is driving for Himmelgarn Racing, subbing for Paul Dana, who injured his back in a practice crash at Indianapolis last month. And so Jimmy filled in at Indianapolis and secured the ride for this evening. So Scheckter has led from the initial green.
You can see them there putting oil dry out. They're trying to keep all that oil from getting down in the groove. They're just dumping lots and lots of it down there, because it's obviously punctured an oil tank or the rear end or something, and it's dumping a lot of oil out on the racetrack.
As you see, they're going down on the apron of the racetrack, as we'll try to take a look and see what happened. There he is in the middle of your screen. He just lost it all by himself.
He bottomed out. He bottomed out real bad there, and when it bottomed out, if you bottom out too much, it actually lifts the wheels off the ground.
And we're going to go back to green the next time by as you ride, looking back from Thomas Schechter's car to the front of Sam Hornish's number 6. And then beyond that is Inge and Weldon. So one more lap and we'll turn them green after this yellow period. One more lap. Jimmy Kite brought out the yellow on lap 6 with a single car spin and crash over off turn 2 as you look at the running order after 14 of 200 laps. And the green will fly the next time by.
Well, Tomas Inge doing a great job up there in third place. We talk about Danica. You have to remember, he's a rookie too, and he's got the same things to deal with, and he has to stay focused. Can't make any mistakes.
Right now, he's probably very happy she's getting all the attention as a rookie.
It actually takes a lot of pressure off him, to be honest with you. He is probably very happy about that.
Well, there she is right there. She'll restart back in 10th position, right behind her teammate, Buddy Rice. Rice, of course, back after setting out Indianapolis with a back injury. And we're back to green.
Brian Herta got a big run on Danica. I don't think he got around. Yeah, he got up beside her. It looks like he might make that pass, but he had a big run on her coming through 3 and 4.
Yeah, look at Weldon on the high side of Inge.
Wow, he got a great run out there.
Keedy with him.
Now you see those cars. You saw Hornish moving around there a little bit. Now it looks like Weldon might have a chance to go on by. Well, he is by him right now.
Kanaan was way up high, like he was going to go 3 wide. Weldon almost gets together with Hornish in the battle for second.
See, that's why it's so tense here. It's so crucial to keep your line and stay out of, try to stay straight, because a little bit of a twitch, and boy, you're into the guy next to you.
Castronevitz on the high side of Franchitti. That is for position, as that will be the 5th spot being contested right now.
Yeah, he started.
Franchitti gets back around the inside.
He started back in 10th. He's trying to move up. So this whole group of first group of cars, big bump down there in turn 1. That's the one that Jimmy Kite hit.
And there's the 17 of Vitor Mira, who pulls alongside Castronevitz. That is for 7th position.
Well, you can see how even these cars run inside and outside. It's farther around on the outside, but if you freeze your car up a little bit when you're on the outside, you get a better straightaway speed. So the car on the inside has to pinch his car coming off the corner. Just takes 100 RPMs maybe, but that 100 RPMs cuts your straightaway speed, and that's why the guy on the outside can keep up.
Well, Kanaan moves to 5th, so right now we have Weldon, Franchitti, and Kanaan in 3rd, 4th, and 5th. 3 of the 4 Andretti Green drivers in the top 5. Your leader still is Scheckter. He has led from the starting green. You look back at Sam Hornish, the 2-time series champion, rides in 2nd. And look how high some of them are coming off that corner.
Yeah, I believe that was Herta that went way high in that yellow and black car back there. Hornish just kind of staying right behind Thomas Scheckter. Not really, hasn't really made a move on him yet. And it's very early in the race to go out and try to get that lead.
Well, you saw before the race began that Scheckter has led the most laps here at Texas.
You can see Weldon, he tucks right down in there, and then he moves out as it goes through the corners, trying to see if he can find a little bit of speed on that outside groove. So far, nobody's been able to go out there. Once they got in behind, they just kind of had to stay there.
We talked at Indy last month that going into that race, Scheckter had led the most laps of any active driver. Of course, the driver that has led the most laps at Indy was, without winning, was Michael Andretti, but he finally won as a car owner.
Right. He did not win as a driver. That'll always probably be his biggest. That'll bug him for the rest of his life. But I think he did the right thing. He got out while he was still in good shape, and he's in. I think you're right about one thing. He is enjoying racing more now than he did as a driver.
His personality has totally changed.
Yeah.
He's much more relaxed. Saw an interview earlier in the weekend. He was very jovial. He was a guy, quite honestly, when he was racing, it was difficult to approach him as a member of the media race day morning.
Right.
Now he's very accessible.
And look at Franchitti now. He's going to make a run on Kanaan. He went to the outside, could not make it stick, but tried to go to the outside.
Ed Carpenter currently in 13th position. We talked about the weight of the drivers earlier, and that Sam Hornish was the heaviest at 165. Well, Ed Carpenter also weighs 165.
Well, he's
in his 2nd season driving for Vision Motorsports. Somebody was very slow on the inside of the racetrack as you're riding along there with Danica. Is that Buddy?
Yeah, it looks like. Yeah, it is Buddy Rice.
So Buddy Rice, last year's Indy 500 champion, pulls off, and will this prompt another yellow? It could, because of where he stops.
Yeah, he didn't drive. He could have gotten off, it appeared, but he stopped where they're going to have to throw the yellow.
Well, so Buddy Rice brings out the 2nd yellow of the evening on lap 23. Look at this.
Flag pit stop, or yellow flag
pit stops.
Everybody will come in, it appears.
They're about 5, 6, 7, 8 laps under their inside pit window.
Thomas Scheckter is the first one to reach his pit because he pits way down the racetrack, farther than everybody else.
Wow, out in 8.9, fuel only. 7.1 for Sam. And look at Weldon, 9.7. So once again, Penske gets it done for his driver.
Wow, those guys were quick. That was really quick. They didn't have to take a lot of fuel. It takes about 9 seconds.
Change tires.
Yeah. If you don't change tires, obviously it doesn't take as much time. It takes about 8 or 9 seconds to change tires. So usually it takes about 11 or 12 to put in a full tank of fuel.
And here's a replay of the pit exit. And there is Kanaan.
He left.
Wow. We were watching the other three, and he had a tremendous stop.
Yeah, Weldon, he got out just about this.
So remainder of the second yellow of the afternoon, and a second leader. That is on the restart will be number 11. Watch him pick up the throttle coming off the corner, and Hornish right away wants a piece of the action, goes to the high side, gets a good jump, and is he going to have the lead?
Yeah,
it's side by side on this restart.
He is very good. No, he couldn't pull it off.
But look at this, Weldon's going to make it 3 wide. He goes even higher on the racetrack.
Wow.
That's a gutsy move. Look how high he is down the backstretch. He's going to take over second position, going into third. Look at Scheckter. Scheckter back there in fourth now.
Yeah, Scheckter got a very good restart, and Hornish just didn't have those Toyotas we've talked about. They don't seem to make the horsepower that the Hondas and Chevrolets do, and he got on the outside. It looked like he had a big run on him. Still could not pull away. He can keep up with him by staying in the draft, but to pull out there and pull away, he just doesn't seem to be able to do it. But look at Scheckter.
Scheckter on the inside of Weldon goes to third.
Wow.
And look at the sparks fly. That has to be so disconcerting. You know what it is, but just to see the sparks fly right in front of your race car.
And Schecter's going to move to the outside. He wants to lead this thing again.
Yeah, he's making a statement right now, Larry.
Yep, looks like Weldon's trying to follow him through.
A long way around. Will it work for him? He has to get around Hornish first, and then set sail for Kanaan. And here comes Weldon.
Weldon's out there trying to help him out a little bit.
Bump there over there in the fourth corner.
Yeah, there's some rough places on this racetrack, and that's what makes running side by side like this a little bit dangerous. And we see it year after year after year, and not very many accidents come from it. And that's just because these guys are so good at what they do.
Of course, the most vicious accident was 2 years ago at this racetrack in October with Kenny Brack. And of course, he came back to race at Indianapolis last month. Buddy Rice an early out in this race. Hopefully we'll hear from him momentarily.
Right now,
battle up in front, and here comes Castroneves.
Here today, his comeback after missing Indianapolis short-lived. What happened, buddy?
I'm not sure. Something broke mechanically in the car, and we're not really sure. It's hard to say. We thought at first it was the gearbox, but it looks like it might be something else. We're not sure just yet.
How was the traffic out there in the early going?
My car's good. I mean, I was extremely happy. I was sitting right where I needed to be. Just wanted to see where it was going to shake out. You know, and I was staying right with the pack where I wanted, but just the way it goes.
Out early for a former Indy 500 winner.
I think that was
teammates Vito Mira in 5th position right now, and Danica Patrick back in 14th.
That might have been driver speak for we blew an engine, but I can't say so. I'll make Honda mad.
Your honesty is overwhelming.
That's right.
Look at Hornish on the high side. They're stacked up 2 abreast, nose to tail. This looks like the start of the race.
Well, this is what Texas is famous for. 2 by 2 by 2, lap after lap after lap. That's what makes the fans love it, and what makes the drivers cringe is it's so delicate out there and so easy for if somebody makes a mistake. You really have to trust all the other drivers that are on the racetrack.
I'm stacked up side by side, nose to tail. This is the second lap now. They're running in formation.
Well, sometimes they run like this for 8-10 laps. It looks like a 210-mile-an-hour pace lap. Look at this. It still does right now.
They're stacked up all the way through the back.
All the way to the back. Oh, Scheckter had to climb out of the throttle. Yeah, he got out of the throttle very quickly for some reason and lost a lot of speed.
And there goes Castroneves on the high side, and here comes Vito Mira behind him. Well, one slight adjustment on the throttle, and you can lose some ground.
But you're flat out. This place, you run flat out all the way around, and if you have to just lift a halfway, he might have only lifted halfway just for whatever reason, just for a split second, and you lose all that momentum.
Lifted 10% and lost that.
Yeah, it's just...
Here he comes back on the inside. He got the momentum back up. That's what the drivers talked about with the smaller engine. You know, it takes a lot longer when you lose those RPMs to build your momentum back up, and you saw that right there.
And this is all momentum. This racetrack is 100% momentum. everybody can run with everybody else because of the drafting. But if you have that momentum going, you
saw Schechter there lose the momentum and drop back to 4th position, got back around Weldon. Now he's working the high groove, trying to get around Hornish.
And sometimes when you lose that momentum, you get far enough back, you can actually have that draft.
Toe.
Yeah, toe helps you suck right up behind him again. Now then, well, he falls back in behind. And all 3 of those cars. Now he goes to the outside. He looks like he gets to the outside going into the corner, cannot maintain it through the corner. And just there he goes down the straightaway. That's what I'm talking about. On the outside, it seems like you have a little more straightaway speed because you don't kill the RPMs. But then going through the corners, it's so much farther around. The guy on the inside usually gets the advantage. He made the pass, though.
Schechter made the pass and drops Hornish to 3rd. There's Weldon. You're right along with him back in 4th.
Wow. And that's where you have to have a spotter. That spotter said clear, 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 and he pulled down in front. You know, otherwise, there's no way he knew he was all the way around.
Castroneves around Vito Mira for 5th position. Well, maybe not. Let's not call that too soon.
Well, these guys have been battling like this. Castroneves doing a nice job. And look at Hornish coming right back.
Well, look at Schechter.
Wow. These guys battling each other.
Well, Schechter back to the lead.
Schechter
led the first 28 laps of this race, so he's back in front. Battle for 2nd. Kanaan is 2nd. 3rd is Hornish. 4th is Weldon. 5th now is Castroneves. And then you see the yellow number 17 of Vito Mira.
Boy.
Tomas Ingi off the pace in number 2. The Chevrolet power plant may be giving up.
Well, it's obviously not a good thing when you see that happen. He's lost power.
He's going to bring up.
Oops, he is going to. Yeah, he didn't make it into the pit area, so that's. We're being told that he lost the drive line, but you know, hard to tell at this point.
Also, the 3rd yellow of the afternoon. The first was a Kite that made a single car crash up in turn 2 on lap 6. Then Reichs brought out the yellow with out power on 23, lap 23.
Yeah.
Lap 41, as you see, he just pulls down the inside and starts coasting.
Everybody did a nice job to miss him as he was running up near the front.
To all the top runners are making their pit stop. The 2nd stop of the evening under this yellow. There's the Panther Racing team going to work on Thomas Schechter's number 4.
Fuel only.
Trouble disengaging the fuel line.
Yep, fuel only. Looks like everybody's just going fuel only. That little second jerk, Thomas Schechter, that took a whole second. That's going to cost him some racetrack time. It doesn't look like much, but just because it took him that extra second there in the pits, it'll cost him a couple of positions on the racetrack.
Wherever they come out and cross that line where they're going to line up, if you take a look at in and out.
Yeah, Hornish is coming out in 3rd spot where he went in 1st. I mean, Schechter is. Hornish, of course, with Penske crew guys, he gains 1 spot.
But yet Kanaan's right behind the pace vehicle.
Well, Kanaan did not come in. I don't think.
Well, that's interesting strategy.
Yeah. I don't think that Kanaan came in. Berta did not come in. There were several cars.
right behind there.
Keedy did not come in. So there are several cars that did not come in. So we'll see. Maybe that pays off. Maybe it doesn't.
Green this time with the Andretti Green boys running for the top 5 positions. And boy, Hornish got squeezed all the way up to the fence.
Franchitti and Hornish both got big runs on Herta. And when he went out there, Franchitti pinched him. He had to get out of the throttle, and he actually lost a spot when that happened. So tough break for Hornish. He had the right idea. Now Schechter's back up in 4th spot, so he's on the move.
Well, Schechter has been the fastest practicer, was the fastest qualifier, and today has been probably the fastest in the race.
Yeah, he's been very, very quick all day long. Sam Hornish right behind him, following him, trying to both of them go around Herta right now. Danica Patrick back in 15th spot at this point.
The 2 Marlboro Team Penske cars together there on the racetrack.
You can see the top 15 cars all running just right together. So everybody still is running this lead laps right in a huge, huge bunch.
Right now there are 19 cars on the lead lap. Inge is now 6 laps back, but he's still out there. 2 cars out, Rice and Kite. Rice with perhaps an engine problem, a drivetrain problem, and Kite with a crash. Go back on board with Scheckter in 3rd position.
And Franchitti's moving around on the racetrack a lot. He moved right up in front of Thomas Scheckter going down that last straightaway. So. And there he did it again. He moved. He was low, and then he moved back high. So Scheckter says.
A call from Brian Barnhart.
Yeah, Scheckter says, "Okay, you want to do that? I'll go out underneath the bottom. I don't care.
And I'll take the position away, and
exactly.
Then I'll go after the leader." And here comes Hornish, and there goes Castroneves on the inside of Hornish. The 2 teammates side by side on the racetrack.
Now this is the best we've seen Castroneves run. He did not run good in Indianapolis at all. He got involved in an early crash. Ooh, Franchitti tried to get under Scheckter, just didn't have enough room.
Lost the momentum, and he's going to lose that position.
Yeah, he's going to lose a spot right there because of that. Once you climb out of the throttle, even just so slightly, it does cost you a lot of time on the racetrack.
And when you say climb out of the throttle, you're only talking about a degree of pressure so much on the throttle.
You don't have to get, maybe you go from 100 throttle to 50% throttle or 60% throttle, but you lift just a little bit so you don't run into the guy, and it still takes away your momentum, your total lap speed, and slows you down.
Well, for those of you staying on top of what Patrick is doing, she is in 13th position. She restarted 15th. There was a quick glance at the 26 of Weldon. Weldon working on the outside.
Thomas Scheckter trying to go to the outside, trying to see what was up there, see if there was anything to be gained. He just not making much speed up there right now. And Franchitti looks like he might be a little bit faster than Thomas Scheckter.
Right behind Franchitti is the number 6 of Hornish, then Castroneves. But here goes Franchitti on the high side of Kanaan.
Well, Scheckter out there trying to get the lead. Scheckter wants that lead back. He got a good run, just used that draft, that pull. Looks like he had it for a second. Let's see if he can maintain it.
Only 2 different leaders this evening. Scheckter, Kanaan.
Wow.
And Schecter's back in front, but look who he takes with him.
Yeah.
He actually brought Hornish with him, so the tow helps with Hornish going to 2nd. Kanaan drops to 3rd, then Franchitti and Weldon, then Castroneves in 6th. Then it's Mirren Sharp with 62 of 200 laps now complete. So right now, Larry, Scheckter seems to be the class of the field because he has led on 2 different occasions and has made that car work high and low.
Well, he certainly has. He's looking pretty good right now. There is
Patrick going by. Oh, there's a car in the wall. Yellow is out. The 3rd yellow, make that the 4th yellow of the evening. That's Ed Carpenter.
What a tough break. What a tough break for Ed Carpenter. He had been running a pretty good race. He had been.
See the new yellow lights here?
Yes, those are nice. The drivers complain that sometimes they can't tell the wall from the where the wall starts and the track ends, and so they put those lights out there, and they really are easy to see.
See if we can see what happened here from Manning's car.
Oh, touched wheels. Touched wheels with somebody, broke the right front suspension, and he had no control of that thing. I promise you, whoever it was that touched wheels with him, he had no control. See, the front was already broke. It broke before, the right front was broken before he ever got to the wall.
They're going to take this opportunity, Larry, to make
these
wholesale pit stops under yellow, and they'll be changing the tires this time.
Well, these are the guys who didn't stop the first time. See, these guys all didn't stop a few laps ago, so they all had to come in. All the guys who made the pit stops the last time did not come in. So that's going to put Scheckter and Hornish, those guys right back up front.
Weldon, Castroneves, and Mirra. So Scheckter, Hornish, Weldon. Kanaan made the pit stop. And there's a look at Kanaan right there. And right behind him is Dario Franchitti. You saw Herta come in as well. So this will scramble the standings just a bit as we remain under yellow here at Texas.
jump on the start. If he doesn't get the jump on the start, then he'll try to follow. Oh, look at this.
Almost 3 wide. Almost contact right there.
Mira got down to the inside of Castroneves.
Almost contact again.
And he got down in the dirt, actually, and that thing wiggled big time. So he did a good job just to keep that thing from crashing because he was way, way low and in the grass. Look at Castroneves right alongside his teammate.
Well, he's getting racing now at lap 73.
And Hornish had to get out of the throttle and let him go.
Yeah, here comes Weldon. So Weldon goes to third, Hornish drops to fourth, and then it's Vito Mira.
I think Sam had to climb out of the throttle just slightly, and when he did, he lost at least one spot.
And look at Yasukawa moving up. Oh no, that's Matsura in the 55 car.
And that's one of the best runs we've seen him have there for Fernandez Racing. He's really moved around 3 or 4 cars because he was back in about 8th spot when this thing restarted.
You see Castroneves' last lap was faster than Thomas Scheckter. Look at back there in 3rd position.
Yeah, they're kind of hunting around the racetrack trying to figure out if there's a way to pass Scheckter. And right now they can't figure that out and just have to follow him.
But this is what we've come to expect here at Texas, Larry.
Yeah, you kind of hunt, you look a little bit, try to find just a little bit faster way around the racetrack. Or
Vito Mira on the inside.
Yeah, he's standing right down near the bottom. Oh, look at this. Because everybody dives back into the inside coming off that corner.
Well, right now you only have 2 seconds separating the top 14 in the racetrack.
Kanan has really moved up. Remember, he was way back in like 11th spot. I wonder if Mira did something to the car because he's falling back now. And he, on that restart, remember, he dropped the left side tires down in the dirt. The thing wiggled a little bit. He might have bent something, maybe a wing or something, because he's lost several positions here recently.
Sharp on the outside of him in that number 8 car, back up to the front. Scheckter still leads over Castroneves and Hornish.
And the 2 teammates look like they want to battle each other as Hornish, he doesn't like running behind anybody, let alone his teammate.
Well, it's interesting that we've always felt like the Honda this season was the strongest engine. Look what's out in front of Chevrolet and 2 Toyotas.
Well, you won't see that very often, I predict, all year long. But right now, you're right. I think the Hondas are definitely the strongest of the 3, though.
So the bow tie contingency smiling here at Texas this evening because the Chevrolet has led on 2 occasions. Thomas Scheckter out in front of a pair of Toyotas riding in 2nd and 3rd. Then the Weldon machine with the Honda power plant back in 4th. Then it's Kanan, Matsura, Sharp, Mira, Dixon, Yasukawa, Franchitti, and Patrick. So Patrick was up to 9th. Now she's back to 12th.
Remember, there's only 2 Chevrolet engines in this race. There are 10 Hondas, 10 Toyotas, and only 2 Chevrolets. One of them has made a long pit stop, so virtually only 1 Chevrolet in contention to win this race, and that one is out front right now.
Yeah, Tomas Ingi is 6 laps off the pace back in 19th position. So he will not be a factor, but up in front, Scheckter certainly is. And look at the number 55 car on the high side. Look at Matsura.
Wow,
he's having a great ride here.
He's having a great run. It looked like when he got out there, it looked like that thing was going to take off on him, but it didn't. He held on to it.
We're looking back off the lead car of Scheckter, the number 4 Platinum entry with Panther Racing. They had the all Chevy front row with Tomas Ingi outside the front row.
Wow, these first 3 cars have actually pulled a few car lengths ahead of everybody else. You don't see that very often here at Texas.
4th is Weldon, 5th is Kanan, 6th Matsura, then Mira, Dixon. Sharp is 9th, and 10th is Yasukawa. Jerry Lee and Larry Rice with live coverage for you this evening from Texas Motor Speedway here in the Fort Worth, Dallas, Texas area in north central Texas. And of course, in 2 weeks, we'll be on the air live from Richmond, Virginia. Thomas Scheckter has led 2 different times here this evening. Only 2 different leaders, Scheckter and Kanan. But right now, the Penske boys are having some thought about maybe taking that point. And there you ride along board with Mira.
Yeah, and after he fell back to 7th, looks like he's gained a little bit of speed again and trying to go forward.
Sharp.
Yes.
That may have got his attention when he got off the racetrack.
Yeah, when he got down there and got the 2 wheels off, or at least partially off the in the dirt. It shook the car, I can tell you that. I saw that thing move. It jumped out about a half a car length. He's lucky he didn't run into somebody on the outside of him.
It's been a good season so far for Scott Sharp after a couple of real disappointing seasons. The former series champion starting his 104th race with the Indy Racing League, the most of anybody. His 95th consecutive.
Right, so with Fernandez Racing and Honda engines, very good combination. Of course, Adrian Fernandez won a lot of races last year with his own team. Didn't drive anything except the Indianapolis 500 this year because of sponsorship. So I would guess that after being out all year, we may have seen the last full season for Adrian Fernandez.
Well, you saw that little notation there that Scheckter has led 56 of 84 laps this evening.
He's definitely been out front, and the guys that are following and have tried to get around, they've tried to find a way. Castroneves keeps sneaking out, sneaking under, find a way, just hasn't done it. Look at this, teammates almost collided. Franchitti and Kanaan almost touched wheels down there in that little kink down there coming off down the front straightaway.
Going into this evening's race, Dan Weldon had led 5 races for 301 laps. Dario Franchitti led 135 and Sam Hornish 118. Thomas Scheckter had led 60 coming in. So
he's adding to that total every few seconds as he goes.
Total he'd like to add to is the win total.
Yeah. Oh, he really doesn't care except lap 200.
That last one.
That's the one he wants to lead because that's the only one that pays the money, pays the points. And he really needs to do that. He really needs to get a victory, at least get a good finish.
We'll go back a couple laps and show you a replay. This is Mira looking at Kanaan, and I think that's is that Mitsura? Hello there.
Oh boy, they came very close to touching right there. Here comes one of the Penske cars in right now.
And typically Penske will stagger his drivers and not bring them in. If it's under yellow, they'll come in together, but if not, under green, quite often he staggers the pit stop.
Right. Here comes Castroneves. Remember, see, he's hard on the brakes.
Hard on the
sliding the tires right there because there's a pit speed limit, and if you come in too fast, they will come call you in for a drive-through penalty, which is a huge, huge penalty.
And at this racetrack, virtually take you out of competition.
Take you out of competition. They are going to have to change tires, especially after he spun those tires, slid those tires getting into the pit area.
The flashing light on this one guy's left wrist. There must be some kind of a signal to the driver of some kind.
Wow, that was
9.5 with a change of tires. Excellent pit stop for the Penske bunch, and here comes Sam Hornish. So they do stagger the stops, but Scheckter remains on the point.
The driver has to keep his foot on the brake. He has to keep the engine revved up. So he does have a job that he has to do. Ooh, thought maybe he was going to kill that thing.
9.6 for Sam.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Looked like he might have right there after he put that thing down. I thought he might have had some problems.
They're ready for Scheckter. He should come in perhaps this lap, Larry.
Well, you know, they've all got to come in pretty soon. Weldon's got to come in too. Nope.
Stayed out.
Well, you don't want to run out of fuel. That's the biggest mistake you can make. Weldon's going to have to head in too. Remember, though, we talked about Weldon. Team Green has told us that he gets better fuel mileage than any of the rest of the guys on that team.
That's his driving style.
Just his driving style, the way he does it. Oh, this Metsura's in. He's one of the guys who was going to have to make a pit stop. He did not. He hasn't pitted in a while. Scheckter and Weldon are both going to have to come in. Sharp's going to have to come in. All these guys are going to have to come in here in the next few laps.
There's Dixon.
Here comes Dixon. There's only about 5 or 6 guys who are not going to have to come in. We said the Chevrolet's got a little bit of fuel mileage. Looks like they're staying out there. Schecter's staying out there a little longer than anybody else has so far, except Weldon. Weldon, Mira, and Patrick. Here he comes.
Here comes Scheckter.
He's one of the guys that's going to have to stop.
Patrick is in as well this time. So Weldon now assumes the top spot and becomes our third different
Wow.
10.9 for Scheckter, so that was one of the slower stops.
Wow, that's 2 seconds. 10.9 is almost 2 seconds. A second and a half. That's a huge difference for him. Terrible pit stop, really, for Panther Racing.
So Weldon.
Danica Patrick had a pretty good pit stop.
Assumes the top spot with Kanaan second, Franchitti third, and here comes Weldon.
He had to stop. Yeah, I'm surprised he stayed out as long as he did. He was the last guy to stay out. He got better fuel mileage and stayed out longer than anybody else, only by a lap or two, but that could make a huge difference near the end of the race.
Well, remember that pit strategy has put him in position to win on several occasions.
Well, it certainly has. They played that pit strategy extremely well. And, you know, he really...
Klein Tools, Jim Beam car, 10.5 for Weldon, trying to get back to victory lane for a 4th straight victory. He's won 4 of the first 5 races this season, including the big one, the Indianapolis 500. And there is Tony Kanaan. Now it's been 52 laps since his stop.
Again, we don't know how many of those were under yellow. They don't have as many yellow flag laps as the other guys, so I think they're going to have to come in, you know, certainly in the next 8 or 10 laps.
There's Briscoe. There's the rookie from Australia for Target Chip Ganassi.
Yeah, and he was one of the guys that was on that longer pit strategy. He was one of the guys who was made a pit stop on that second yellow earlier in the race. So some of these guys are making pit stops before I thought they might.
And up in front, Tony Kanaan leads. It's the 3rd time this evening that Kanaan has had the point, so he leads over Franchitti and his teammate Herta, Barron, and Manning. Well, Alex Barron celebrating his 35th birthday, having a good ride. Up there in 5th position. First time really called his name all evening.
And there is Alex Barron.
He dropped out of the top 5 of that pit stop.
Yeah, he had to come in and make a pit stop. You're going to see these other guys. They're going to have to make a pit stop pretty shortly. That leaves Manning, Herta, Franchitti, and Kanaan. They're the only ones who have not pitted under this green. They are still on the lead lap. Everybody else is a whole lap down. These guys back here are not gaining on Kanaan nearly as quickly as I thought they might. They're gaining on him maybe 0.2 of a second per lap, but they're not.
They have to get the job done.
Yeah, that'll catch them back up, but it's going to take, you know, 10 laps instead of 3 or 4 laps like I thought they might. So.
But there's still like 66 laps to go.
Oh yeah, a long way to go. But the fact that draft is that's toe is not helping them as much as I thought it would might mean that it's going to be tougher for them to make the pass once they get up there.
Scheckter has led 77 laps so far, 78 laps so far this evening. He has led by far the most, but he's mired back there in 4th spot right now after that last pit stop.
Right. Be interesting to see what happens, because they are going to have to make at least one more pit stop. And actually, Kanaan, you know, he might actually be able to stick around with only one more pit stop. I think everybody else probably is going to have to make 2 pit stops.
And right along with Scheckter back there in the 4th position, who's gone 21 laps since his pit stop.
Oh, look at this.
Look at this. You talk about catching up. Well, they've caught up, Larry.
Boy, once they got within about 4 or 5 car lengths, they just really caught him in a hurry.
They got in single file.
The trouble is, once you catch them, it's not that easy to go around, because you know, it's just like following a big truck on the highway. Once you pull out from behind that truck, the air catches you and slows you down. Boy, look at this though. Castroneves looks like he's
going to get some help from his teammate.
Yep, he's going to get out there and try to push him around.
And for the first time today, Castroneves is going to lead this thing.
Wow. Both of those guys, they're both going to go around him.
5th leader of the evening. Castroneves takes the lead on lap 138.
Scheckter goes to the outside. Ooh, he got way high though. Wow.
And here comes Scheckter alongside Kanaan.
Wow, Kanaan for some reason doesn't appear to be running nearly as quick as he did a little earlier. Looks like he's slowed down. He's running like 2 miles an hour slower than those guys for whatever reason. Not sure what's going on, unless he's turned the fuel wick down, trying to make sure he can make it on one more pit stop.
Well, we were surprised that Danica made it as many laps as she did at Indianapolis a couple of weeks ago. So she had to turn the wick down a little bit.
Yeah. So if that's what he's actually doing, now then it looks like Scott Sharp is going to go around him. So either he is playing a fuel mileage game, or he has some sort of a small problem with that car, handling-wise.
Sharp back there in the 5th position.
Oh. Doesn't look like he wants to stay back there all that much, because he pulled right down to the inside of Scheckter to go down the back straightaway.
And right back along with Scheckter. 144 of 200 laps, 145 now. So 55 laps to go here at Texas. And this is just what we've come to expect at Texas, kind of side by side and nose to tail from the opening green to the concluding checkered flag.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's side by side of the checkered flag.
That's right. Boy, he's oh, look at this. Kanon's coming back now. Goes to the outside.
There's Kanon on the outside of Scheckter on lap 147. Scheckter has the major by a car length now.
Wow. So
the Toyotas are out in front, and now Chevrolet riding in 3rd position. And then you get some Honda power plants. So Castroneves, for the first time this evening, took the lead a few laps ago and has his teammate in tow. Scheckter rides in 3rd.
Look at Scheckter, though. He's going to the outside. Looks like he wants to. Oh, he does. He just goes round and around.
He gets in between the 2 Penske cars now. So Scheckter up to 2nd. Hornish drops to 3rd. 4th is Kanon, and here comes Sharp on the high side. Look at Scheckter up on the high side of Castroneves.
Wow.
Oh, and they almost get together. Oh, Larry, that was close.
Castroneves just absolutely moved up the racetrack. Didn't give him any room. Thomas Scheckter did a nice job to stay out of the wall right there. And going down the back straightaway, he just blew right on by.
He said, just for that, take this.
It looked like he had an afterburner on that thing, because once he decided to go around those guys, he just went to the outside.
Look at this, 3 wide with Sharp on the outside. Wow, Kanon looked like he got the tires off the pavement.
Yeah, he had to get out of the throttle. He didn't have any choice. And look at
what, with 50 laps to go, these guys are getting wild.
Wow, Hornish is trying to figure out. He's all over the back of Scheckter right now. Wow, Hornish has had a little trouble, though. I mean, Thomas Scheckter, he stayed back there, and then all of a sudden, when he decided to go around him, he just pulled out and went around him. We'll see if those Toyotas are strong enough to do that with Scheckter leading.
And you look at that gap now between 2nd and 3rd. But they can certainly close it up once they get in that single file formation. Scheckter has led the most laps here this evening. He won the pole position in qualifying.
Wow. Hornish is he's going to school right now. He's trying to figure out what exactly it is he has to do to win this race.
And we've seen him do this before.
We certainly have.
He goes to school on him. Hornish there in 2nd position, looking at Thomas Scheckter, trying to figure out where he might get a run on him. And this is something that he can determine right now that he can use in 50 laps.
Yes, that's right. The first 6 cars got a pretty good lead on everybody else right now.
Now watch this 3 wide racing. Watch Kanon on the inside. Whoops, I'm off the racetrack.
Yeah. Oh!
Almost into
wow.
Castroneves.
He almost got in the side of Castroneves, got down on the grass again.
No, to get on the throttle, but had to drag the brake just a bit.
Wow.
There.
That was close, as Castroneves gave him no room on the inside. And he was down on the grass once, almost got there again, finally had to climb out of the throttle. Just a little bit. Wow.
So Scheckter a car length in front of Hornish. But so often we have seen Sam Hornish, as you look at the laps wind down, as you say, go to school on the driver in front of him, set him up. We saw that in the first race that he ran for Penske a year ago when he beat his teammate.
Yep. Stayed back there, and then when it counted right near the end of the race, he just took a huge chance really, and dived in and went around. So that's what you have to do. You have to be willing to take a chance once in a while. Look at Scott Sharp right up there with the big boys, following those guys around and running very, very quick. Matsura back there.
Well, his career has found new life with racing with this new team this season. Same sponsorship, same color scheme as last year, but he just went through, realistically, a couple of dismal seasons with Kelly Racing.
Right.
But now he's back and enjoys being able to compete up in front.
Yeah, he certainly is, and he's doing a nice job. Look at the huge gap back to Franchitti and Weldon. Those guys, that's Mira back there, Dixon, and then another huge gap on back to Danica Patrick.
And that's Briscoe right behind Danica, a couple of rookies. So one rookie is well off the pace, about 6 laps off. That is Tomas Ingi. The other 2 rookies are running in 12th and 13th positions, Danica Patrick and Ryan Briscoe. And once again, that number 53, if you saw the Herbie movie, the Volkswagen Beetle of years gone by, well, they're re-releasing the updated version, and she has been promoting that, so she has the number 53 on her car.
You can see how
Herbie had on at the beginning in the introductions.
You can see how she's having to turn that wheel. See, she's running straight down the straightaway right there. But then when she has to turn the wheel going through the corners, you can see how much she's having to turn that wheel. Looks like she's turning quite a bit to me.
Well, could this be a race that Scott Sharp could find victory lane?
Well, it looks like a pretty good bet that the front guy, these top 6 guys, are definitely outrunning everybody else at this point. We are going to have at least one more pit stop for these guys, though. They may be able to stretch it and only make one more, but they all have to make at least one more pit stop.
We've had 4 cautions this evening. The first for Kite, a single car crash. Then Rice brought out the yellow with the power plant problem. Ingi stopped just off the race course and then restarted. Of course, the 1-car crash with Carpenter. But as the laps will wind down, we are now hearing that the Penske cars may be qualifying in about, making a pit stop in about 5 laps. So once again, Scheckter leads by that length over the Cornish number 6. So Castroneves is coming in the pits now. So once again, they're going to stagger the pit stops by the Penske drivers. So Castroneves the first to make the stop.
Well, okay, he's still, I don't know whether he can make it to the end. So it'll be interesting to see if he can make it to the end even after this pit stop, because it's really it's going to be a long run to stay out there if it's all green. If it stays all green, he can't make it to the end. He'll have to make another pit stop. So we'll see what happens. These guys are all going to have to come in here in just a minute. So these guys can't make it much longer. They've been running 43, 44 laps. I don't see any way they can make it past about 47 or 48 laps.
Schecter's gone 39. Cornish is 43. So there's a lead back up in front with the pit stops coming. After 162 of 200 laps, Scheckter and Hornish, but they will have to make pit stops. Take a look at the second 5.
Yeah, remember the second 5 are quite a ways behind the first 5. The first 5 guys really have. Oh, look at this, Scheckter. Nope, Schecter's not coming in. Hornish is, though.
Hornish is. So that moves Scott Sharp up to 2nd position.
Well, they run 164 laps.
Sharp's gone now 50 laps since his last pit stop.
So Hornish can make it to the end. Everybody now that pits, they will be able to make it to the end. So Castroneves, his pit stop, he's going to be pretty close. But everybody now, they made it to lap 165. This will be the last pit stop.
I would think that the captain would know. 8.5 for Hornish.
Wow, that's very quick.
That's change a tire and top off the fuel.
Well, Ingi's passing everybody, but right now he's probably got the wick turned up. These other guys are trying to save a little fuel. They probably have it turned down a little bit.
But he's still 6 laps off the pace.
Yeah, right. He's still 6 laps off the pace. I don't know. These guys might stay out there just to see if they can outlast and then get a yellow flag. But I would think that Scheckter would have to make a pit stop before too much longer. Plus, he's right in the middle of lap traffic, which I wouldn't think they'd want to be into right now. I think this would be a good time for him to make a pit stop.
Well, as you see, the last one at Michigan in 2002, in a season that had lots of controversy when he was driving for the Red Bull Team Cheever.
Yeah, it looks he's got several lap cars right in front of him there.
Look at Sharp. Now Sharp is Foyt. He was going by. He was going by Foyt, and Foyt kind of drove him down a little bit, lapping Foyt.
Yeah, he didn't want to run down there. He didn't have much choice though.
Now Barron on the inside. That is Barron. There's Danica. Danica making her final pit stop.
Yeah, she's run a nice race. She hasn't been as fast as everybody expected her to be, but she's been run a nice race and stayed out of trouble. That's an important part.
Installed the engine 9.5 and just valuable experience. You heard Dan Weldon talk about the advantage of going back to a racetrack that you've raced on before, and this is the experience that she's getting.
Right.
There's Vito Mira.
Here comes Scott Sharp in the pit. That's his pit back there waving for him to come in. So Scott Sharp, who is in second place, heading to pit lane. That was a pretty quick pit stop, it looked like. So they've got a nice run so far. Schechter's still leading and has not made his pit stop. He's going to have, looks like he's heading in right now. Yep.
Here comes Scheckter.
Now remember, Kanaan can stay out longer than anybody else because he did not pit when everybody else did. He can stay out there for a few more laps.
Back to Kanaan now. As Kanaan, he's going to have to make a pit stop before this thing is over. So back with our live coverage from Texas Motor Speedway, where Tony Kanaan, Dario Franchitti, Brian Herta now run 1, 2, and 3. But late in the race, you see what's happened because these guys will get those laps back. And here comes Kanaan. Here comes Kanaan, and here comes Herta right behind him for their final pit stop of the evening.
Yeah, they had to come in. Manning's already in there, so he had to make a final pit stop. Oh, look at this.
They almost get together.
That was Ingy coming in there.
There's Dario.
These guys do not have to have a full fuel load. They can short fuel these things, so they might be able to get out and maintain the lead just because they don't have to have as much fuel. See, as soon as the tires are on, they're going. They didn't wait on anything. As soon as the tires were on, they were gone.
Scheckter.
Yep. Herta got back out in front of Scheckter, so Scheckter having he had a pretty good pit stop, but still a lot of cars in front of him. There's Sharp is in front of him. That's Hornish in front of him. So those two guys, Herta and Kanaan, both in front of him. So Scheckter back there has several cars to get back up front. There's Kanaan up there. So all those guys after the pit stops, Kanaan and Herta both short fueled, went back out. Herta still did not beat Sharp and Hornish. Look at this. Scheckter just goes to the outside and says,
goodbye.
Don't hold me up anymore, bud.
I've got a race to win here.
Well, it'll be interesting to see because Scheckter had a pretty good pit stop, but Sharp, Hornish, and Kanaan all had better pit stops. Kanaan, I know why, because he did not have to take as much fuel. He's short fuel. But look at this, though. Hornish goes to the outside, and Scheckter looks like he might even go to the outside of both of them. Wow.
Still Scheckter stays to the high side. And look at Ingy, who's like 6 laps off the pace. He's now actually 7 laps off the pace.
Well, I hope he doesn't get up there and mix it up with these guys.
Cause a problem.
Yeah, there's no real reason for him to. I know he wants to show everybody how fast he can go.
Here comes Herta.
Yeah, Herta's heading for the pits.
That will give Kanaan the lead, put Sharp in second position. Hornish will be third. Schechter would be fourth. Got to believe they'll short pit this one.
Yeah, he stayed out there as long as he could. Oh, they're not even going to put fuel or tires on it.
Just
put fuel in that
fuel
thing.
line, and he's off.
That was
5.6, Larry.
That was a timed stop. They only put enough fuel in it to make sure they could make it to the end. That's all they had to do.
16 laps to go.
Herta's going to come out and lead in this thing because of that short pit stop. Nope, I guess not.
No, I don't think you got it. Kanon's going to lead this thing with Sharp in second, and there's third. There's Schechter. And then Castro and Evans. Okay, now it's a shootout. Who's got the ponies?
Yep.
It's time to show them.
Well, so far, Thomas Schechter has shown us he's got the most horsepower. Now, if he...
Tell you what, Inge's showing he's got some ponies, too, despite being 7 laps off the pace. He's up there mixing it up.
Well, Schechter right now is trying to get around Scott Sharp. Hasn't been able to do it. I mean, he's tried a couple of times to use that draft and then pull out and go around. So far, he has not been able to pull off that pass. And he's got to be a little bit careful because right behind him is Hornish. And every time he makes a move, Hornish is looking for a way to sneak underneath him.
You know they're going to be blocking inside this racetrack. He's going to have to go by on the high side.
Oh, look at this. I think Sharp had to lift just slightly when he got up behind Kanon, and that gave the opportunity to Schechter. So far, he hasn't made the pass, though. So far, he's just up beside him.
Well, here comes Hornish right behind him.
Trying to give him a shove, but so far hasn't been able to pull that off. Look how those cars move around. Look how close they get.
Sharp did not win a race last season, the first year in like 8 years that he did not win at least one race. Of course, he won at Motegi in the 2003 season. Look at this. Look how close those guys got right there.
Wow.
Now, Schechter has to get around Sharp to have a shot at Kanon. Kanon won this race last year, the June race last year.
He got a good run down that straightaway. I think he's going to make the pass this time because he got a good run down that straightaway. Now, see the shorter distance.
Oh, and they almost get together again.
The shorter distance down on the inside makes a huge difference, and he just could not.
Here comes Hornish. He has him now.
Hornish tries to get out there and maybe help him a little bit, shove him around. Now then Schechter makes the pass.
Okay, now with 11 laps to go, let's see what that Chevrolet power plant has to offer against the Honda.
Wow, this is what you expect at Texas. This is the way they race down here, side by side.
Now Weldon won't win his 4th in a row. He's 12 seconds behind in 8th position right now, which is where he started this race back in 8th. But you got about a 4-car shootout right now up in front.
Well, the first 5 cars actually.
Here you go.
He's to the outside, and look how close they run. Look how much you have to trust that guy on the inside to give you room. He moved to the outside. Kanon gave him enough room. He didn't make the pass, though. Going through the corner, you get a, oh, look at the run he got coming off that corner. This might do it. This might be the run that he needed.
Maybe the pass for the win right there, and here comes Hornish in second.
Boy, don't say the pass for the win when you got Sam Hornish right behind you.
And you're at Texas.
Yeah, that's right. When you got Sam Hornish behind you and you're at Texas, you're in trouble because he knows how to use this racetrack. He used the gears and the draft and the racetrack better than anybody here. There's no question.
Hornish has won twice here, Larry. Of course, coming in.
And he's won it a couple of times because he outsmarted the guy
at the very end
in the traffic and going right at the very end.
With 8 laps to go, remember going into this race, Thomas Schechter had led the most laps on this racetrack.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see.
Limiter we just heard.
Yeah, I think it just barely burped right there. And Sam Hornish, and you can bet that right now Schechter's watching his rearview mirror as much as he's watching the racetrack in front of him because he's trying to figure out what Sam Hornish is going to do. But what Schechter has to do is stay down to the inside, make Sam Hornish go by on the outside. He knows that. He thinks he's got the horsepower to keep Sam Hornish from going by on the outside, so he's going to stick right down to that white line. He's going to make Sam Hornish go around him on the outside. He's not going to give him that bottom line. So far, not seen Sam Hornish pull off very many passes on the outside groove. And look at Kanaan. He's back there, and he's sneaking right back up on both of them.
Well, he may occupy Hornish for a while and give Schechter a chance to pull away.
Well, he got to the outside, but could not get around him.
There's Sharp back there and forth. You heard the blip again of the rev limiter. Look at Sharp on the high side of Kanaan. This is the pass, or the attempted pass, for third.
Wow. Scott Sharp looking very strong. Look at Hornish. He gets that little run down the straightaway, pulls up to go around in the corner, but just cannot get up beside him. If Hornish ever gets up beside Thomas Schechter, I think it's going to be all over. But he can't get there. He can't get up quite far enough to get that run on the outside. Sharp fell back. He didn't make the pass on Kanaan.
Schechter's keeping the car glued down low, making Hornish go around the outside. There's going to be a pass.
Yeah, he's not going to give him that bottom line. He's no way. He's
probably a good defensive race right now.
Well, that's right. He knows that's
his race to win right now.
His race to win or lose. As long as he stays on the bottom, he's going to make Hornish go around on the outside, and it's difficult to do.
And you can't argue if he wins this thing, because he was the fast qualifier. He's fast in practice, and he's led the most laps this evening.
Well, let's see if he can break that jinx. We don't want to jinx him, because he's had some really bad luck. But so far, he's done everything right here tonight.
His mom Pam and all of his friends, I'm sure, gathered this evening watching in Cape Town, South Africa. They always get together to watch the races live. And now he has 2 laps to go to pick up the victory here at Texas. And this would be huge for Panther Racing and huge for Chevrolet.
And huge for Thomas Schechter, because he's always been fast. He's always been competitive. He's always been brave, but he hasn't been able to bring it home. He hasn't been able to run to the checkered flag. Tonight, this is the final lap. He's only got a half a lap to go to make that happen.
There's some traffic out in front. That will not play into this finish, though.
Look at Hornish.
I don't think Hornish has anything for him.
No, he tried. He tried to go to the outside. He just didn't have anything for him out there.
And Schechter picks up the win here at Texas. So wow. Chevrolet and Toyota run 1-2.
Get that monkey off my back.
And this is a race team that is owned by about 4 or 5 different guys. There's one of them right there. And, you know, they have done something. They have done something to this team that's very difficult, to have that many car owners and make it work.
Yeah, they certainly have. There goes Danica Patrick. She soldiers home at 13th. So she's not going to be happy with that. But realistically, her first time at Texas, one of the toughest racetracks on the circuit. Mentally, I thought she did a good job.
Good education.
Yep, good job, good education. Kept her nose clean, so she can feel proud. She's got nothing to be ashamed of.
Right. Well, he's not about to go to victory lane yet. I'm not sure.
He's going to turn it off out there. He's not even going to victory lane.
Yeah, he's going to get out right here.
He's going to go out on the front straightaway. I don't care where victory lane is.
Fence, a la Spider-Man, like Castro-Nevis.
I don't know, but he's a plenty happy guy, but he certainly didn't go to victory lane. Well, the crowd's loving it. The crowd's absolutely loving it. They went crazy. He did a terrific job.
Victory lane is over there. He said, I can walk to victory lane.
Well, a lot of joy there. You can't blame him one bit. It's been a long dry spell for these guys. And, you know, he's going to make his way to victory lane. But what a huge victory. He's going to throw his gloves up in the crowd. He's going to give some guys some souvenirs.
Is he going to get him over the top, or just hand him?
No, he's going to hand him through.
There you go. Congratulations, kid.
He was going to throw him over, and he figured out
better of that. He thought that tire fence is too high.
Have to be a pitcher for the Red Sox to get over that fence.
So our congratulations to Thomas Schechter and Panther Racing.
Congratulations. It's been a long time. Welcome back to Victory Lane.
Thank you very much. You don't know how long I've been waiting for those words. We come so close. Panther, Pennzoil, Chevrolet, American Revolution. Man, they did it tonight. Had a great engine, great car. Panther crew were great on the stops. I was pretty calm the whole way through the race, and just thank this whole crew. You know, They really worked hard. They stuck with it. We had a tough Indianapolis, but we come back. And these guys are the man. I just thank them a lot for giving me the opportunity.
What about the comeback story for the Chevy engine? A year ago, it had a hard time getting in the field, and it was a dominant engine here tonight. What power?
Exactly, American Revolution, baby. It's good. They really worked hard, and I take my hat off to all of them. And it shows that, you know, they've come back harder than ever to win here, and I thank them a lot.
Does this take some of the sting out of those last couple of laps at Motegi?
It definitely does, but I want to do this again and again. I want to do this every weekend, you know, and we can do it. We've got the car, I've got the team.
Once again, Thomas Scheckter takes the victory over Sam Cornish. Tony Kanaan, Scott Sharp, yet to find Dan Weldon back in 6th, so he will not win 4 in a row. Matsura, good ride, back in 7th position. Then Franchitti, Mir, and Herta. If you take a look at the rest of the running order, and there's Danica Patrick, a rookie, back in 13th position. But as we have documented, this is the best thing that she could do. Learn the racetrack. She didn't have to go out and vie for the win, just get some laps and bring the car back with all 4 wheels hanging on it.
Well, that's right, and she did a nice job. She wasn't as aggressive as maybe some people would have liked to have seen, but she brought it home in one piece.
But still a commanding lead right now at this junction for for Dan Weldon over Tony Kanaan, 65 points. Sam Hornish is back in 3rd, then Herta, Mir, Sharp, Kastronevitz, and Scheckter now moves into the top 10.
Yep, young Thomas Scheckter, a very happy man, and so he should be after a performance like that. That is just about it, with Indy Racing and the Texas Speedway again living up to expectations. The IndyCar Series continues in 2 weeks' time with another evening race. This time it's from Richmond, Virginia. It's the SunTrust Indy Challenge, and you can see it live here on Sky Sports 2 in the early hours of Sunday, June the 26th, starting at midnight. My thanks to you for watching, and our congratulations once again to Thomas Scheckter. Certainly showed them the way. We will leave you with a pick of the action from the Bombardier Learjet 500. Goodbye for now.